happened back in 2020. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on 10 between the San Francisco 49ers and the Las Vegas Raiders. And we are underway at Allegiant Stadium. And here's Jakeem Grant from his end zone. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A good start. One play, 10 yards. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. To throw, it's Carr. And right away, he lost the football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And he will bring this one back. It's a fumble return for the 49er touchdown. The pass receiver turned into a runner, then he turned into a fumbler, and it goes the other way for 6.
I love your description. Although for the offense, they're not too happy about it. But for the defense, what a big-time play for them. Never give up on anything. Sometimes you create your own points.
But the receiver, hard to fault him. He's just going for extra yard.
That's exactly what you're supposed to do, but you have to take care of the football.
Robbie Gould on for the extra point. And the 49ers grab a 7-0 lead.
Makes the score Niners 7, Raiders 0. Robbie Gould, the kickoff for San Francisco.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. On the return from his end zone is Grant. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. A little jet sweep to start the drive. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Carr going to throw. He'll swing that out wide to Jacobs. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down. Now, that last pass CD, he just added another notch to the old belt. What a career it's been. He's over 35,000 career passing yards now.
And when you say that number, over 35,000 yards, how many people have done that prior to him?
Right around 30.
Boy, that's a pretty good number. Now you're into a membership that means you've done a heck of a job in this league for a decent amount of time. You're recognized as one of the better players.
On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. Back deep, Ray McCloud. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Call that a 46-yard punt with a net of 40 on the 6-yard return. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. Lance and the 49ers now. 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. Well, this defense for the Raiders, they were excellent a week ago in the win over Pittsburgh.
And I don't know what the actual percentages are, and I don't know the analytics when you create 5 turnovers or takeaways in a game. But coaches always say, when you create a number that high, your chances of winning probably up over 98%. I haven't seen that number quantified, but I believe them.
They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it, and that'll leave them with a 3rd and 2.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Lance looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Open man is Ayuk, complete. And he is going to have a 49ers first down as this defense unable to hold. It's a 7-yard gain there on 3rd and 2. Gotta say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
They run on first down as they're able to get this forward for about 4.
The defense thought they had that play covered, but it still got driven backward by those blockers. Those types of plays are a key part of any team's offensive game plan. It all starts up front in the trenches.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And they'll hold him to 3 there as he takes this up to the 47. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
The Raiders call on a nickel set here for 3rd down. They fake the handoff. Now Lance. Man open. That's Deebo Samuel. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 42. The 3rd down conversion successful. A gain of 11. We got to like what you're seeing from this offense here on the first drive. A nice sustained series to begin the game, and it will continue after picking up another first there.
Would you say the word methodical comes to mind? I love the execution. I love what they're doing on this drive. They're controlling the ball, controlling the game, controlling the clock.
And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Lance with a tap forward on the jet sweep. Touchdown, 49ers! Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, 2nd year in the NFL. And I don't know if last year as a rookie if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that. So he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the 2nd-year quarterback.
Oh, the return from his end zone is Grant. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and it'll be 2nd and a couple.
At the 42-yard line.
$14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
14.
Now Carr on the bootleg. The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. But he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. The catch and run there, good for 16 in the first.
2nd and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it. And they do so and pick up a first down.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. The former first-round pick, Eric Armstead, the one who got in there to make that play. The Raiders come into this one in search of win number 13 on the year. And they've gone a full couple of months now since their last loss. Winners of 8 in a row.
And we always talk about how a team has to play complementary football in order to really be a good squad. But I think in this league, if your offense isn't playing really well as this one is, you're not going to run off this kind of a streak.
And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 15-yard line. Thielen with his first catch, and it's a first down. Going to run the sweep here. This is Hopkins. He will push his way down to about the 14. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, they gave up a few yards there, but all in all, I think it's a pretty nice job defensively against the Jets sweep. If they don't slow him up, he might take it to the house, so they'll take that play every time on the defensive side of the ball.
8 yards to go on 2nd down. Shotgun now for Carr. Slant to Adams. A gain of 8 there on the play. And 3rd and 1 now.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Josh Jacobs with his 14th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Raiders are back within a score. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that'll make our score 14-7. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. The football will come out to the 25 as McLeod will not return it. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work. The running running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Lance now to throw. He'll get this out wide here to McCaffrey. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And it's 3rd and 4 now. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. On the double. And the Raiders call on a nickel set for 3rd down. Here's Lance. Got his target, Samuel. And he is going to have a Niners first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
First down, here's Mitchell. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. He was able to escape momentarily in the backfield, but you could just kind of tell that wasn't going anywhere.
You know, in the film session, he'll get a minus for not getting him on the ground by himself. But what the coach is really going to analyze, how fast did his teammates get there to help him? If one guy slows him up, everyone else better be there, and that's what they got on that play.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Lance looking to throw it. Got an open man. It's McLeod. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. He needed a yard. That's exactly what he got. Earns him a new set of downs.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. Off of play action, here's Lance. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Lance going to try and throw on 3rd down here. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I feel like my man momentum might be changing jerseys right now. How about what they just got done? They scored a touchdown on their last drive. Now here's a 3 and out. Maybe momentum's getting ready to creep to the other sideline.
Here we go. Set.
And they'll go for it. Lance. And able to haul it in is Kittle. And the 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half.
First down, San Francisco.
So after the big play on fourth, here's 1st and 10. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Now Lance. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. 7 yards there on the first down screen play.
Good call there on first down. And Brandon, I'm getting better over the years and not screaming out, screen, screen, screen with my defensive training. They want to keep those pass rushers honest, and they did so there, and they wind up picking up positive yardage.
Second and 3 with the ball sitting on the 5. Up the gut, McCaffrey. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half.
A dime look defensively for the Raiders on third down.
Yeah, you're right. 2 extra DBs out there. Third down. Here's McCaffrey. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Now the defense will burn their third and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. The kick by Gold is good, and they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that, and we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
This is taken just shy of the 10. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
The Raiders take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard
line. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10.
Hey, 7:34.
And now a timeout defensively after that first down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number 1. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Carr. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Jimmy Ward. And the Niners are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. Well, Charles, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. Pulls it in at the 13. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
The Niners take over first and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. This offense set to begin the third quarter. And, Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they've got that here.
That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game, so probably an empty box establishing the run. They're on pace for fewer than 100 yards in this one, so now they want to make sure that they get that going so they truly have a control in this ball game, and down the stretch, being able to be balanced, either throw it or run it, and try and win this ball game.
Now a play fake. Lance. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Merrick. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. Extra point by Carson, up and good. And it leads down to a field goal at 17-14.
Niners 17, Raiders 14.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. The football will come out to the 25 as McLeod will not return it. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Well, remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Up the middle, here's Mitchell. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. And as a defensive defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
Throwing his Lance on third down. Trying for Ayuk, but it's intercepted. And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football. CeeDee it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I should have thrown that one.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
They'll start out here with a jet sweep. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play there. Second down. Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
On second down, Jacobs. And he's going to have this pretty close to a first down as the tackle is made at the Niners' 40-yard line. 8 yards on the ground there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 2. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And I tell you what, he got it from 15 yards. They had the clutch of Lamb behind him, and that will tie things at 17. They got the turnover in great field position, but unable to do anything with it. And they're left taking the easy 3 on the field goal.
Yeah, you're right about that. A great chance at a short field touchdown. On a sudden change, you take the ball away. You expect your offense to put it into the end zone, but they'll take the 3 for now, even if they feel just a little bit let down.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Third quarter action here, this regular season finale. This will be 2nd and 10. To throw, it's Lance. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Gets his guy on the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
Ready.
From the gun on 3rd down, Lance completes it to Samuel. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. A big one there on third down. They hit for 30 yards.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Play action. Now it's Lance. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. He's trying to protect his quarterback's blind side. Got nabbed for the hold.
You have one job over there. Make sure that man does not get hit. So if you have to hold occasionally, do so, because they don't catch all of them. This time they did.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Again, it's Lance. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. It's a big play, yet amazingly, because of how far they had to go, they're still looking at a 2nd down here.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
On play action, Lance gets this one to Juszczyk. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
I think they tried to fool him on that one. You know, being able to throw the ball to the fullback position, no one was fooled on that play.
No, lost yardage. You think they should yank that one from the playbook, at least for the time being?
I think what you do is you take it out and you evaluate it next week in practice.
Throwing now is Lance. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And he is going to have a 49ers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You've got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
Again, they'll throw it with Lance. Back to Deebo Samuel for consecutive catches. And he's brought down, but he has it down to the 12 on a pickup of 12. 1st and 10.
That's the 3rd time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going. And right now, it's paying off with big chunks of yardage, as shown by that last play.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Out of the pistol, McCaffrey shoves him aside, and down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds, right around the 7. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
2nd and 5 now. Lance. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds, right at the 3. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation.
I did like his decision-making there to make sure they picked up something instead of forcing a throw. Now they've got more manageable play coming up to try and pick up the 1st down, and don't rule out the possibility that he just keeps it and runs again.
The Niners on 3rd down. 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. They'll try and pick it up with Mitchell. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4. Have to kick this field goal, don't you?
No question about it. Look at the clock. Look at the situation. Kick the field goal.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to break our fourth quarter tie. The kick by Gold is good. And with that, they take the lead here 20-17. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
Offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this fourth quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game. Now a throw here to his running back. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that'll make it second down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Going to run the sweep here. This is Hopkins. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
The Raiders on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Here's Carr to throw. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as he'll be marked down a yard or 2 past the marker following a gain of 6.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
46 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. 2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Once again, it's Jacobs. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Hit and dropped behind the line by Dre Greenlaw.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense was pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game. And all that pregame whooping has turned into results.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Carr now to throw. And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, didn't look his way at all in the first half, and I'll bet you the offense coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. Got a man open. It's Darren Waller. And he's going to come up a few yards short. Brought down at the 45. That'll give him 8 that time. And that'll bring up 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield.
637.
Now Carr, gotta have this one. Able to find Waller, that's complete. And he is going to have a Raiders first down as they wind up with a gain of 11 there on 4th down. 11 yards on the pickup, and that's good for a Vegas first down. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Looking to throw on second down. Carr. He'll find Thielen work in the middle. And he'll be brought down at the 27.
That completion helps out in a nice way. Now they can take a little bit more time, but guess what? They've got to make sure on their throws that they see it open, not just anticipate it.
Throwing his Carr. Taking it in over the middle. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 12-yard line. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Back to the running game with Jacobs. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
But he picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Carr to throw. Oh, and that nearly ended it. That should have been intercepted, but he cannot corral it, and that is a lifeline there with 3rd down coming up. Nearly an interception. If that one's picked off, it's over, so a new lease on life, so to speak.
A lot of times when you're in coverage, you're so focused on the man and the coverage that sometimes the ball, if it arrives, it surprises you. That may have happened to him in that situation.
Carr. They swing that out wide to Jacobs. And they'll rally and stop him short of the first down at about the 6. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to potentially send us to overtime. The kick by Carlson is good. And that will tie this game here in the final minute of play. So in the final minute, they turn it over to their kicker to get him back to even, and he does not disappoint.
Brandon, do you think the pressure ever gets to this guy? Because I sure don't. That was pretty smooth right there. But I tell you, he better not rest on his laurels, because there's a good chance they may need him again if this game goes to overtime.
Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. They start on the ground with McCaffrey. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. And it's 2nd down. And now here comes their final timeout. as they take it with 8 ticks remaining. And with inside of 10 seconds, 8 to be precise, we get whistles and a timeout on the field. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Lance looking to throw. Taking a shot for Samuel. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
So the Raiders are going to get the football first here in the overtime session as we are back underway. And we will not see a return to start overtime. It'll come out to the 25-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. All set up for him right now, Charles. Opening possession of overtime. They've got the football. They also obviously have this home crowd behind them in a big way.
They get that extra energy from them, but they've got to be careful not to let that adrenaline get away from them and play too fast or create errors of their own making. Use that energy, embrace it, but make sure they channel it the right way. They've got a chance to go downfield, score a touchdown, and end this game.
He hits Adams, complete. 30, 10, and he's into the end zone for the touchdown and the game winner in OT. So this one a victory for the...
Yeah. Hold up, it ain't easy breaking away or being a great